I'll talk to you about issues which you may not have heard from a military person. When I joined the military training institution, it was October 1978. A large number of you may not have been born. And around that time, when we went to train together, we were 300 of us from different regions, different religions, different language, but all with a common goal, nation. And along with that nation, a subset of that is humanity. I want to narrate to you a couple of incidents. Let's start. In 1992, I was posted in Manipur. Manipur of those days was possibly lacking infrastructure, did not have the kind of facilities which a common citizen should have. Lack of roads, lack of hospitals. There's a river there, Barak River, no bridge. The jungles are so dense that you don't even see the sunlight coming down. And in that, we crossed the river, we went for an official operational patrol. And after some time, we heard a sound as if some human being was in pain. So we immediately got into cover, which is our training, and we waited for that sound to come closer to us. What did we see? An old man carrying his wife on his back. Must have been 70 years old, and the wife was down with malaria. And he was carrying her with a hope that he would get to some doctor somewhere. What is that somewhere? He had no idea. So we came out of where we were concealed. We introduced ourselves as from the Indian Army. He was reassured. My nursing assistant who accompanied the patrol, he told me, sir, she is very seriously ill. We gave her whatever treatment. Now the dilemma was with me. Do we take her back, abandon the operational patrol? What do we do? So I took a decision. I was a young major at that time. I took a call. I split my patrol into two. Half of them came with me for the operational task. The other half, I sent them back, carrying the lady and the old man accompanied. I completed my task. By the time I got back and joined with this group, it took us some time because it is not easy to carry somebody, and especially where there are no roads and the tracks are absolutely primitive. We thought there is a place which is called Tipaimuk. Many of you would not have ever heard of it. We thought there is a primary health center, there would be a doctor, no paramedic, no medicines, no ambulance. So we cut short all our work and we carried this lady from my company base. It was a 2 days walk. So we had to carry her for 2 days. We reached Thanlon, that was my company base. We caught hold of a paramedic there from the state government and we told him, look, this is a lady. She needs to be taken care of. He said from the district headquarters, it will take 2 days for the ambulance to come. We still looked after her. After that, she was taken away. Till date, I do not know the name of the lady. I do not know the name of the husband. I do not know what happened to them. But the biggest satisfaction I had was that my men and me, we did whatever best we could do to save a life of an unknown lady in an unknown area where we had no communication because the languages were different. But I think even the sign language makes humanity possible, and I think what we did was good in that area. The second incident, in the same area, 1992, one day from our company base, my troops saw a kind of the sky was aglow. So we thought this is definitely a fire accident or a fire incident in the village. It's an emergency because in those areas, the villagers did not have a fire service. They didn't have anything to beat back such an emergency. So we all rushed in whatever attire we were, we rushed to the village. That village had wooden houses all linked to each other along the road. Means if a house catches fire, you can take it that the entire village will burn down. So when we rushed there, we saw the village headman. They have a system of village headman. He was worried. He didn't know what to do. There were village volunteers who were trying to douse the fire. There isn't a water source there. Whatever water is there, they're trying to push. Obviously, it is something more than that. That particular house structure was of a carpenter, and this was winter of October 1992. So maybe he had tried to heat himself. It went off, and the whole village was now under the threat of fire. His house was already gutted. So I consulted the village headman. I said, look, this is not going to work. We've got to drop some house to break the chain. The village headman obviously had no choice. He said, Sahab, jaisa aapko theek lagta hai, aap kariye. So I used the military vehicle to ram into two of these houses on both sides and broke the chain. Now breaking the chain is one part. Now we realize that this carpenter, he has lost his house. He's lost his livelihood because the tools are all gone. The raw material is all gone. What do we do? So my troops, that is officers and my soldiers, we all contributed 1 day of our salary to the carpenter. He bought his tools. We gave him a lot of rations from our stock so that at least he could start living again. And I think we did another sensible thing. We didn't need wooden boxes, but we gave him an order of one person, one box. So that amounted to nearly about 80 or 100 boxes, and we paid him. His life started again. I don't know who this man is. Till date, I have never contacted him again. But somewhere, this message goes that the Indian military is not only about fighting wars. The Indian military is not only about standing at the border. The Indian military is as much humane for the public in the hinterland as any other citizen. At that point in time, nobody was thinking that what happens if that burning house falls on us? What happens if something happens to us? What happens to our family? In the bargain, we did something which humanity demands. At that time, what were our families doing? They didn't even know what we were doing. So at that point in time, if something happened to any one of us, our families would have to struggle for their entire life alone. So when it comes to humanity, it is not only about whom we are helping at the risk of our life, but the nation and the society also needs to think about people from the armed forces who risk their life for the safety of the common citizen. So for the sake of keeping the entire society together, while we look at humanity and human rights of civil society, there is some thought which needs to be given to those people who are away from you. Out of sight does not mean out of mind. I think all of us need to get our mind and heart together to see that each individual is looked after.